The Redmi K20 Pro is here and it's got a killer triple camera setup. By that I mean there is no lame depth sensor. In this video we'll see how to install Google Camera and make those cameras perform even better. Before we begin, let me introduce myself. My name is Ashwin Sundar, this is Technology Jock. Kindly subscribe to the channel and press the bell icon for more of these videos. If you're looking for a good durable tempered glass for the K20 Pro, check out our sponsor Glazed Ink. What's special about Glazed Ink is that they make these genuine curved tempered glasses with actual 2.5D curved glass along the edges, so you wouldn't have to deal with that ugly, awkward gap that you get from installing most other tempered glasses in the market. They're available for a lot of other phones as well, including the OnePlus 7, Asus 6Z and so on. So do check out Glazed Ink, link in the description. You can use the promo code TJOCK to get 10% discount on your purchases. Let's first get the installation and configuration out of the way. Just go to the description, you can find the Google Camera link, go and download it, install it. Now once you open GCam, go to settings right away and follow what I'm doing. Make sure your settings match with mine. Now this is important. If you enable this, you can double tap on the camera switch button to access the telephoto camera. Now in addition to that, if you enable this option, you can access the ultra wide angle camera. But if you want to go back to telephoto camera, you need to go to settings again and disable the second toggle. Not the easiest way to switch cameras, but at least we get an option. I got some really nice images. But the thing is, I'm testing one particular thing right now. I'm not sure how long it will take, because if it doesn't work, then GCam might crash and you might not even be able to use it properly. So once that testing is done, I'll definitely come up with another video comparing wide angle and telephoto pictures from both camera apps. For now, let's compare the main camera images. In broad daylight, when the lighting is good, both phones perform really well. The stock camera images might seem brighter to you, but the thing is, it's slightly overexposing the images. For instance, here on the Google Camera image, you can literally see the moon. But yeah, sometimes brighter images at the cost of losing details is not that bad, because overall the brighter image looks pleasing to the eye. But yeah, if you prefer details and sharpness, Google Camera is the way to go. Here you can even see the scratches on the disc. In terms of dynamic range, well, there is no consistent winner. In some situations, GCam does better, and in other situations, the stock camera does better. Here, for instance, the shadows are a lot brighter. In indoor lighting conditions, of course, not everything is ideal, so we start to notice more differences. The Google Camera does an amazing job capturing the texture of objects. Right from the dust particles on this DO container, the aperture blades inside the lens, the concentric circle pattern on these earphones, the bull's eye, everything is captured in detail by Google Camera. As it gets darker and darker, Google Camera shows how much more capable it is than the stock camera. The stock camera has a dedicated night mode, but the Google Camera also has something called, well, night sight. This comparison is a no-brainer. Night sight has done a tremendous job. In reasonably dark scenarios, both cameras capture equally bright images. But when you zoom in, you can see a lot more detail on GCam photos. You can read the piece of text on the lorry tank, the drums have more detail, and the noise levels are also significantly lower. Now, when it gets super dark, it's an entirely different story. Google's night sight just destroys the stock camera's night mode. The level of detail is just mind-blowing. When it comes to portraits, it gets a little confusing. The edge detection and background blur are equally good, but technically, Google Camera captures more details. Here, the sun and the surrounding clouds are visible to an extent, but the subject, my mom, is underexposed. It's a portrait, the human subject is the most important thing, right? So considering that, I think this round goes to the stock camera. You can edit the GCam picture to make it better because all the details are preserved, But straight out of the phone, the stock camera portraits are better. And guys, the stock camera can also click portrait mode using the telephoto camera, and it looks really good. I've said this many times before, in general portraits look great when shot using zoom lens, so that's the reason. The stock camera also has these AI Portrait 2.0 effects which you can make use of. Fancy features, but once in a while they're fun to use. Now, all those things apply to selfie portraits as well. Google camera selfies have way more details, they look sharper, the background details are preserved. So once again, editing will make it look better. But again, straight out of the phone, I prefer stock camera selfies. So barring selfies, almost everything else is way better when shot using Google camera. That's how good the processing is. Now, don't forget about the ultra wide angle GCam video. That's going to be a really special one. Make sure you hit the subscribe button and press the bell icon so that you will get notified when that video gets published. Thanks for watching. For the moment, this is Ashwin Sundar saying goodbye.